Hola class, how we doing? Forgot to bring my mic closer. Welcome to Chapter 6, Social Publishing. Probably, of the four zones, this one is probably the second most easiest to describe. When we're talking about the social publishing zone, we're including all channels that allow people and organizations to publish contents, such as blogs. I'm a big fan of blogs. I'm going to show you some today. Microblogs, this is Twitter or Tumblr, along those, but we can also say that in this day and age, Snapchat or Instagram would be a micro-type blog. And we have media sharing sites, either focused around a particular area such as photo or their topics or music or documents such as slide, right? Let me hit pause for one second. Actually, I don't have to hit pause. Technorati. Let me show you Technorati. Technorati is a search engine for blogs and only blogs. And you could search for posts or you can search for blog topics. So like this is blog topics. If I type in sports, you know, the Bleacher Report is the #1 blog on the internet. SB Nation. Boston Herald. Actually, look at that right there. You know, if I type in politics, The Blaze. Oh, really? I'm surprised Huffington Post isn't there. But within here, we can see the top 100 blogs. There it is. Huffington Post is the #1 blog on the internet. Top 100 entertainment, top 100 in politics, top 100 in living. Huffington Post, BuzzFeed, The Verge, Mashable, Business Insider, Gawker, Deadspin, TechCrunch, Gizmodo, Ars Technica, TMZ. There's Bleacher Report. So here's the first sports one. Interesting. SB Nation, actually the second sports one right there. But there's a pretty big drop-off after that. You know, the difference between the top 10 and those, I don't want to get too much on here, but Technorati is a search engine for blogs. Okay? So here is the zone we're talking about. We started in Chapter 5 with social community. And here we're in social publishing. And we're talking about editorial, commercial, user-generated, paid, owned, and earned media. Now, much of this chapter talks about content. Content is what you put on a blog, a microblog. It could be a photo, it could be a story, it could be a white paper. But you know, it needs to be good content. And I hate to be so vague by saying that, but a lot of people just think about quantity of content because in Google's algorithm, quantity is rewarded. Really, we should be more concerned about quality of content, though. In my eyes, 1 or 2 good posts a week is better than 6 bad posts a week. That's just content and volume of content. So, broadly speaking, a blog post is a content, an article is content, anything in a microblog, a press release, white papers, which is a how-to, case studies, ebooks, newsletters, videos, photos, podcasts, webinars, presentations. This is all varying types of content. How do you distribute the contents? Well, but Technorati and blogs, media sharing sites such as Slide, you know. And we always talk about authenticity, you know. And it was a lot easier in the old world of media to discover what was authentic and not authentic because, you know, there wasn't that many types of media outlets. So if it came from the New York Times, if it came from the Washington Post, it was deemed authentic because it was coming from an established news source. So it's harder to tell that these days. Is a message authentic? or is it marketing spin? Or is it more advertorial or editorial? If it's editorial and information related, you know, it's objective and unbiased. The problem is the internet has very little objectivity and very little unbias. You know, a lot of times it's just all commercial message. You know, that's where we're at this. In the old school media, the media decided and was editorial and decided what was authentic and not authentic. And now anyone publishes, therefore the onus is on us as content consumers to decide whether something is authentic or not authentic. Consumer generated content, we see lots of this. Consumers contributing to not their own blog, but someone else's blog, or to someone else's brand. We call this organic in nature, where you just intrinsically motivated to share something. Or a lot of times people get incentivized to share content. And I had a former Dr. Dano student in Massachusetts that worked for an ad agency, and they incentivized bloggers with a decent amount of traffic. Usually it was swag or coupons or free stuff. It was very rarely was it money. But there was certainly an incentive to write or talk about certain things. Sponsored conversations is not new. We've seen these in magazines for a long time, but most of the time these are labeled as much. It'll say advertisement in the magazine, in the newspaper. On the internet, a lot of times it's not labeled. You know, and this idea of counterfeit conversations is very real. Studies of Amazon and studies of Yelp yield many, many, many fake reviews. So the next two slides, these two go hand in hand. And really what we're talking about is we have to, I want you to know that not all content is the same. If you think about it, walking up a ladder or walking up this is just describing this page here. You know, a flagship type content would be something that either generates revenue or generate viewers, or this is something that an immense amount of time is spent into, and it's what the main focus of the blog is, or the news site, whatever. Flagship type knowledge leadership type content. Filler content could be just something, hey, look, something just happened, you know, or, you know, the idea of flagship, pillar, authority building, basic, and, you know, and filler, different than pillar, is not all content is original. They are trying to tell you, like, the more you go up the ladder, the higher the value of content, the more contribution of original content from the blog owners. Some of this other stuff might come from, you know, not a retweet, but a reposting of information. Now, the whole idea within social publishing is, A, we want to increase exposure to the brand or to the blog. And we're hoping, too, that this content drives traffic to our owned media. You know, and for many sites, that hopefully will also mean transactions in some way, shape, or form. All right, let me take a quick pause for a second. All right, when we're talking about social publishing, it's hard for us to get away from SEO and SEM because we do organize the content on our particular blog, but at the same time, search engine optimization and search engine marketing, it should be SEM. Search engine optimization and search engine marketing, it's SEO and SEM. Social media optimization, same kind of thing. It's kind of a weird acronym. But these are ways to drive traffic. So what I did was I went over and did a couple Google searches here. So I did a search on Puerto Rico. This is called, right here, the organic options that Google's algorithm creates. The first 10 selections. So Wikipedia, seepuertorico.com, gotopuertorico.org. This is from Reuters, Bloomberg, Lonely Planet, which is a tourism. What determines where you placed as high up the organic SEO, this is search engine optimization, is the number of links on the internet that says that Wikipedia is an authority on Puerto Rico, the number of other links from sites off of Wikipedia pointing to Wikipedia, saying that this is an authority on Puerto Rico. Google has a very long algorithm. They change it about every other day or every 3 days, somewhere around 150, 160 times a year, tweaking the formulation. And what marketers try to do is they try to do tricks to see if they can become in the top 10 here. Because if you're in the top 10 here, you're going to get lots of traffic. The most visited Puerto Rico link on the internet has to be this one right here, because that's why it's ranked first. Okay, here's another one, Ocean City. So Ocean City, New Jersey.us, this is actually Ocean City, the town of Ocean City's main site. Okay, and this is probably the one that gets searched or hit the most, so Google is ranking this one the highest. Ocean City Vacations, there's Wikipedia third, OceanCityNewJersey.com, that's probably a commercial one. One from the Philadelphia newspaper, TripAdvisors, Trulia, VRBO, which is rentals, HomeAway, which is rentals. This is another tourism site. This is all SEO. SEM, search engine marketing, is this. This is search engine marketing. Search engine marketing. Organic SEO is unpaid. Search engine marketing through Google AdWords campaign and AdSense, that's AdWords actually, this is paid. This hotelrates.com pays to be listed anytime someone searches Ocean City. Could be a couple cents, could be 15 cents. OceanCityNewJersey.com, TripAdvisor. ServingOceanCityNewJersey.com, townhouses. 5 hotels in Ocean, Booking.com, FamilyVacationCritic.com. These companies are paying to be on the page every time someone searches for Ocean City, New Jersey. And Burger Realty, which is actually 15th in the boardwalk in Ocean City, they pay to be here. This is the most expensive spot to be right here and listed first. Okay, let me go back to our... So that's SEO, and social media optimization is the same kind of thing as SEO, but there's SEO and there's SEM. Both of these are in high demand. It is part of the content inbound marketing world. If you go to Indeed or Monster, you will find lots of SEO, SEM job requests. So some steps. Item number 1, level 1, social publishing and search engine optimization. So SEO is a key tool used. Now, I don't like how the book is doing this. SEO in my book and SEM are not the same thing. SEM refers to a form, a type of online marketing that promotes websites by increasing visibility of site URL and search engine results, both organic and sponsored. Well, SEO is the organic, SEM is the sponsored or the paid. That's how I want you to remember it, because that's how they talk about it in the industry. So search results listed will lead off with sponsored paid links. That's the orange box at the top or on the sides. And then the organic ones are the ones listed around them, just like I showed you. So here's some description of what I've just showed you. Google has an algorithm. This algorithm determines the listing based on a number of different types of criteria. The other, besides visits and the number of links going to you, tags and keywords that you have in the metadata of your website also impact where you're ranked by Google's algorithm. So there's meta tag, there's title tags, there's headline, the title of the post, the URL web address. So if you're really into phishing, particularly surf phishing, and all the posts in your blogs talk about surf phishing, and the URL is surffishinganonymous.com, well, the URL website address and the title of all the posts, well, guess what? These are things that Google will, when people are searching for surf phishing, because the title of your blog and the title of all your posts and your URL website and all the meta tag and the title tags of the informations that you have on your blog, these are all indicators for Google to send traffic in your direction. You know, when we talk about offsite, this is when if another website has a link back to your website, that's very good. Google's algorithm will rank yours higher. So level 2, we can use our social media type. I really don't like this social media optimization. I think the best way to describe it is this. The book talks about a click wheel. Click wheel is a very popular buzzword in the social media world. In other words, there's multiple different ways to get to your content. I like to think about this, and I drew this in class not that long ago. Home base. This is home base. All roads lead to Rome. See this? Tweet, social, Facebook, YouTube, backlinks, tweets. I like to think about this in terms of my nugget for you guys. All roads lead to Rome. RSS feeds are an excellent way to get traffic to head in your direction. An RSS feed is when you subscribe to a website, and every time a new post comes up, it automatically gets sent to you, either through a social media, Facebook type thing, a Twitter type thing, or email. Social bookmarking is actually pretty good. Well, the title of something is very important. Not only does Google recognize the title, but a lot of people will be enticed by a title, like when the title of a movie sounds cool, and you might, oh, I might go check that out. Well, a lot of times you'll see an awesome title to a blog post, and you go into the blog post, and the title doesn't match the content of the blog post all that well, or the title of the blog post oversells what's in the blog post. But they call it a hook just in terms of phishing. You know, you want to pull someone in. Share tools. You guys have seen these all over the place. For instance, here is something that I read the other day. I'm going to send you this link. Nasty LinkedIn rejection goes viral. Here's the share tools. Facebook, Twitter, Google+, LinkedIn. 8,200 people. Or you could print it, you can email it, or there's more sharing options. Reddit, StumbleUpon, and Delicious. Not bad. Girl costs father $80,000 with suck it Facebook post. Again, CNN has their share it tools right here. Helps things. RSS feeds. Social media I already described those. Social media press release. I'm not a big fan of this title here because, you know, it used to be the case that you did press releases because you didn't have any of your owned media, so you would actually have to write up a press release and send it to publications. These days it's more common for you to self-publish it. Sort of defeats the purpose of creating a release, although some companies still do it. So I do like this, though, the idea of creating particular content. Here's a nice template if you need to do something along those lines. You know, the upside is with a social media, with a press release that's done digitally, you can do other things. You can link to podcasts or photos or videos or other multimedia, pre-approved quotes, links to relevant coverage from other. You can do a lot more in a digital press release than not. Last, we have social news and bookmarking sites. Social news, we've seen these all over the place. That's nothing new. But I don't know if you guys are very familiar with social bookmarking sites. I'm a big fan of these. StumbleUpon is kind of like one, but the one that I like the most is Digolet. It's Digo, actually. And if there is something that I really like this post right here, I can go into my Digo, I can bookmark it. LinkedIn is one of my keywords, and I'm going to save this bookmark. It's the same concept of bookmarking it within your browser. However, when you bookmark it within your browser, that is saved only to your computer and your browser, and you can't access it any other way. I can be on any computer and access my library, my Digo library. It's a social network just for bookmarks. So not surprising, I have 464 tags, and the number one of all the tags, Apple. There's the Beatles, Steve Jobs, Philly, NPR. This is Not What You Think. This is like Lean In, Sheryl Sandberg kind of links, that kind of thing. Entrepreneurship. These are all different tags within this tag. Women and gender, that I'm working on a paper, as a matter of fact. Music. I got a lot of music tags here. Not surprising. 6 new Latin songs to make you move. This is your brain with music. You can print your own guitar, Mick Jagger on Gimme Shelter. These are all within the music tag. Music and storytelling. The Dark Origins of 11 Classic Nursery Rhymes. Before we leave today, I want to show you one other thing. A little SEO, SEM discussion. So this is my dashboard for my blog, Dig Nuggetville, and this is Google Analytics, which is probably, in my opinion, my most favorite software, anything that Google does. And what this does is it gives you a feel for what's happening on your blog. So what you're seeing is a time frame by day from January 31st to March 2nd, 2014. In that time period, I had 1,996 visits, of which only 1,712 were unique visitors, meaning a unique visitor is someone that came on one day, but if they come 4 more times on the same day, they're still only counted once. The other times that they visit would be considered a visit, but not a unique visit. Total page views, so maybe they came for one story, but they scrolled down and clicked through another, or I linked to another. Pages per visit, just slightly over 1. The amount of time someone stays on, about a minute. Bounce rate is how fast they leave or quickly, and number of new visits. We see a little pie graph. So returning visitors, which is 17% of total traffic, so it's like an 80-20 rule here. These are probably people coming from my RSS feed. I have an RSS feed on the blog. And these people here are coming from Google, and this is organic type traffic. So people are searching for certain things, and Google is recommending them to me. For instance, if I look at behavior and overview, this post in the last 30 days, one of the best valedictorian speeches ever. I guess there's not that many valedictorian stuff in Google, and somehow or another I have one of the unique contents. You should try it yourself. Type in valedictorian speech and see if Dig Nuggetville pops up. It probably will, because that's the only way it can explain this much traffic. Not surprising. This is my main page, by the way. That's probably people coming in from my RSS feed. Stuff with this Steve Jobs book summary. If you type that into Google, chances are you'll see either this one or I have another one with a different author. The phrase market orientation or market driven, market driving, I tend to get 5-10 hits a day from this particular post. My Steve Jobs was wrong about the Beatles. This is a newer one. My Super Bowl stuff there, and anything with market oriented, market driven, market driving, Google sends all those to me. We need to talk more about this in class, because this is what blogs and content marketing and inbound marketing is built upon. The blueprint, that Michael Stelzner podcast that I want you all to listen to, this is multiple ways or ideas to get people to start visiting your website so you see analytics like this. Okay? Very good. I'm going to shoot you an email with this information. Thanks.